الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين. We're continuing reading of Allama Iqbal's reconstruction of religious thought in Islam, and we had stopped here. This part, so last time we looked at it in detail, his assertion that in the interest of securing a complete vision of reality, therefore, sense perception must be supplemented by the perception of what the Quran describes as fuad or qalb or heart. And then he quotes the verses 7 and 9 from Surah Sajda, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. الذي أحسن كل شيء خلقه الذي أحسن كل شيء خلقه وبدأ خلق الإنسان من طين ثم جعل نسله من سلالة من ماء مهين ثم سواه ونفخ فيه من روحه وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون. And let's see first Allama Iqbal's the translation Allama Iqbal is quoting, and then we'll look at a couple of other translations. God had made everything which he had created most good. أحسن كل شيء خلقه وبدأ خلق أحسن كل شيء. That's the translation of that. And began the creation of man with clay. وبدأ خلق الإنسان من طين. Then ordained his progeny from the germs of life. ثم جعل نسله من سلالة. Then ordained his progeny from germs of life, from sorry water. من ماء مهين. ثم سواه ونفخ فيه من روحه. Then shaped him and breathed of his spirit onto him, and ثم سواه ونفخ فيه من روحه وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة, and breathed of his spirit onto him and gave you hearing and seeing and heart. The word Quran uses here is fuad, not qalb. Another word Quran uses for heart is qalb, obviously, but here the word used is wal-afida, and not qalb, fuad, plural of that. And in Quran, fuad and qalb at times are used interchangeably, and fuad and qalb, as we will see, both have more than one meanings, and sometimes they have certain distinction in the way they are used in the Quran. And here, so then shaped him and breathed of his spirit onto him and gave you hearing and seeing and heart. What little thanks do ye return. ثم سواه ونفخ فيه من روحه وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون. Okay, let's see another translation Abdul Halim translation, and the thing which is different in that translation is that he translates heart as mind. And because in Arabic language, let's look at that. So wal-afida, wal-afida plural of fuad. Sometimes it's used the same as qalb. Qulub. And Tafsir al-Jalalain, wal-afida is translated or interpreted as qulub. So in that sense, when Iqbal is saying that qalb or fuad, he is right. It's used in the sense of heart. They are synonymous. They're used as synonymous here, I guess you can say. But on the other hand, both fuad and qalb has more than one meaning. Even if they are synonymous, which meaning is intended here? And according to the translation, Allama Iqbal has quoted it to the heart. But Abdul Halim's translation, he translates it as mind. And that's because in Arabic language, qalb, for example, and heart, they can mean physiological heart, or, for example, qalb has three meanings in Arabic language, at least three meanings. Qalb can mean physiological heart, part of our body, but qalb also mean al-aql, and it is used in Quran in the sense of physiological heart as well as in the sense of al-aql. And al-aql shouldn't be really translated as reason or mind, but should be translated more as a center of consciousness. And the third meaning of qalb in Arabic language is, I think, al-khalis min kulli shay, al-khalis, essence of something is also known as qalb. So that sort of we have that sense in English as well, to get to the heart of the matter or something like that. And I guess even in English, heart probably is used in all these three meanings as well, like heart as a reason or center of consciousness, or heart as, because we talk about reasons of heart, for example. So qalb here is used in three senses: as a physiological heart, as aql or center of consciousness, and number three, essence. Similarly, fuad, since the ayah here uses fuad, by fuad we can mean heart, physiological heart. Fuad can also mean, as Abdullah Halim translates it, mind. But I would say that in this context, and I'll give my reason in a minute, what fuad is being used for is understanding. And the difference between fuad and qalb in this regard is that fuad is more understanding, almost, at least, almost in Kantian sense. On the other hand, qalb is more like reason. And that's why I call center of consciousness in the sense of. So both qalb and fuad are aql or reason, but they are different levels of reason. So the level of reason which fuad is what understanding is. What we call understanding in this, sort of roughly Kantian sense. And qalb is more like what Kant, not limited to, but what Kant calls reason, like reason as a center of consciousness, and beyond understanding, and above understanding. So both fuad and qalb are reasons, but different types of reason in certain contexts. So in this context, it seems like by fuad, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying is understanding. And why do I say that? I say that because in the ayah, the Quran mentions first, let's go back to the ayah. So the Quran mentions as he gave you hearing, yeah, he gave you hearing, and then seeing, and then heart, fuad. So وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ. So with hearing, and so these are sense perception. So they provide us information. And qalb here is understanding, in the sense that it organizes that information and categorizes that information. So that's why I would say that fuad here means specifically understanding is in a more in more or less Kantian sense, the sense of categorization, the sense of organization of the information. So Quran says وَجَعَلَ لَكُمْ السَّمْعَ. And as-sama' here is meant, as Suyuti says, or Jalaluddin Mahalli says rather, or Suyuti, I'm not sure which part. The first half is Suyuti's and the second half is Mahalli, but this looks like the second half. Yeah, Sajda is second half from. So Mahalli says, Jalaluddin Mahalli rahmatullah alayh, وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ. فَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ, he created for you, السمع, hearing, الأسماع بمعنى السمع بمعنى الأسماع, والأبصار, eyes, and ears, according to Jalaluddin Mahalli. So, and then God says, وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ, which is translated by Abdul Halim as mind. So eyes and ears, we are getting information from them. So, and then suddenly straight away after that, God mentioned wal afida, and that tells us that these two are the vehicle of, it's not working. So these are providing us information through sense perception, and this is then organizing that information. So that tells me that we should take mind here in a specific sense of understanding, more or less the Kantian sense of understanding. Okay, now let's go back to Allama Iqbal. What does he say? So now he is trying to tell us what this heart means. The heart is a kind of inner intuition. Why kind? What do you mean by kind? So the heart is inner intuition. What does that mean? Probably he means by inner intuition, he seems to mean that it's more like inner eye. So we have this conception in Greek philosophy, for example, in Plato, and in the history of Western philosophy. Well, let's look at that. So Allama Iqbal is saying that heart here means inner intuition. Now, intuition is a Latin word with Latin origin, and intuit in Latin simply mean to see. But in Western philosophy, by intuition they mean inner eye, generally. So it was thought that we have a physiological eye or outer eye, and that is for sense perception. And Plato, for example, say that our outer eye is able to see, material things, but things related, non-material things or rational things also exist, and they have in Plato more superior existence, because they are permanent. They don't have any things we see from the sense, through sense perception, are susceptible to generation and destruction. On the other hand, things we see through the rational things are permanent. So for example, actual particular chair is susceptible to generation and degeneration and destruction, but the idea of, or the form of chair, is something rational, something permanent. So, and the inner eye, the eye of the mind, so mind has an eye as well. and that inner eye that sees as well. So it doesn't just organizes information from senses, but it also actually directly see, but it sees rational objects only. So for example, the forms of Plato, you see them through inner eye, and you have to train it, obviously. So mind has this capacity to see, literally to see directly, not just to organize the information provided by the outer senses. And this inner intuition, remained, unchallenged until Kant, basically, who said that, there's no inner eye. And the mind or the reason cannot see, understanding cannot see. And what he said was that only, at least for us human beings, the only intuition is through senses. And the job of mind, understanding, and reason is not to see things, but to organize things or information provided by our senses. And after Kant, Hegel tried to reinstate this inner intuition, and Bergson as well. But mainly it has gone. I mean, Hegel wasn't successful, but Allama Iqbal is sort of disciple of Hegel here. In reconstruction especially, that's why he is still sticking to that inner intuition thing, and he is interpreting heart as inner intuition. But as we saw, at least in the ayah he quotes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using heart more in the sense of a Kantian sense of understanding rather than the Platonic sense of inner intuition, or even Hegelian or Cartesian sense of inner intuition. So in a sense, now we don't deny that there might be a capacity to see in a very different sense in our heart, but not that of inner intuition. Reason doesn't have inner intuition, and I think Kant's argument against it are very decisive. And Allama Iqbal is, in a sense, working here with an outdated metaphysics. Okay, let's go back. So he's saying the heart is kind of inner intuition or insight. No, insight. Insight also is to see. In the beautiful words of Rumi, feeds on the rays of the sun and bring us into contact with aspects of reality other than those open to sense perception. So now we don't deny that heart has, in certain other senses, heart in the Quran and in the Islamic literature has is a source of knowledge and has contact with aspects of reality to which sense perceptions are not open, but that is not inner intuition in the philosophical sense. And we'll come to that probably when we look at Mullah Rumi's verses he is referring to. But certainly Quran doesn't use it as inner intuition in the sense of the capacity of heart to see rational forms or rational beings in the Platonic sense of the word, or even in the Hegelian sense of the word. Okay, so probably we should stop here and we'll continue from here because it requires separate attention. So next time we'll start from here, inshallah. Thank you.